All right, so we're going to talk about converting improper fractions to mixed numbers and vice versa. So before we start, let's talk about what an improper fraction is. So an improper fraction is a fraction that has a numerator, or the number on top, that is greater than the denominator, or the number on the bottom. So the fraction that we're going to look at, or the improper fraction, is going to be 15 halves. So as you can see, our numerator, our number on the top, is much greater than our number that's on the bottom. So this right here is an improper fraction. We want to get it to where it's a mixed number, and a mixed number is a fraction that has a whole number and a proper fraction. So what we need, words are hard today. What we need to do in order to make this improper fraction into a mixed number is we are first going to divide our numerator, our number on the top, by our denominator, the number on the bottom. So we have 15, and we're going to divide it by 2. So just like with normal division, we see how many times 2 can go into our first number, which 2 is greater than 1, so it can't. So now we're going to see how many times can 2 go into 15. I know that by counting by 2's, that it goes into 15 7 times, and 2 times 7 gives me 14. Now I subtract. 15 minus 14 leaves me with 1. And since I have no other numbers to bring down, I'm going to stop right here. Now, what do I do with this? So in order to make this a mixed number, I need to know a few things. The first thing is that my quotient, the number right here, this is going to be my whole number. And my remainder, which is right here, is my new numerator. And since we're dealing with a fraction here, my denominator is going to stay the same. It's not going to change. So how does that turn into our fraction here? So we have a denominator that stays the same. We have our new whole number. My whole number is going to go on the side. And now we have our new numerator of 1. So I have 7 1/2. That is my mixed number version of my improper fraction of 15 halves. You could also do this by drawing the models for it. But when you have large numerators like 15, it becomes a little bit more difficult when you're just repeatedly drawing halves over and over again. So this is the faster way to do it. So let's go ahead and do this with another fraction, or another improper fraction, just to see if we understand the process. So I'm going to go ahead and erase this bit, and we're going to do it again. So I have a new fraction of, let's say, 45/6. So just like before, we know this is an improper fraction because my numerator is greater than my denominator. So I'm going to go ahead and take 45 and divide it by 6. 6 does not go into 4, but it does go into 45. Thinking about my multiples of 6, I know that 6 goes into 45 7 times. So 6 times 7 gives me 42. 45 minus 42 leaves me with 3. My quotient right here is my whole number. So I have 7. And my remainder is my new numerator. And my denominator stays the same. So again, you divide the numerator by the denominator. Your quotient is your whole number. Your remainder is your new numerator. And your denominator stays the same. Okay, so let's see if we can go from a mixed number back to an improper fraction. So, as you can see, we're starting with a mixed number of 8 3/6. And when you're going from a mixed number to an improper fraction, you do things a little bit differently. We're not going to divide in this case because we already know how many whole numbers we have. We need to do the opposite. We're actually going to start by multiplying. So the first thing that you do is you take your denominator, or the number on the bottom, and you multiply it by the whole number. So we have 8 times 6. I'm going to put a little multiplication sign here. 8 times 6 gives me 48. And now that I know how many 6s are in my wholes, I am going to add my little product that I got here to my current numerator, which will give me 48 plus 3 gives me 51. And just like before, my denominator is going to stay the same, and I end up with 51/6. I could check this by going backwards, taking our improper fraction and making it back into a mixed number. So let's see if we got it right. So I have 51 divided by 6. 6 doesn't go into 5, but it does go into 51. It goes into 51 8 times. Look at that, there's my whole number. And 6 times 8 gives me 48. And now I subtract 51 minus 48, leaves me with a remainder of 3. So here we have our whole number of 8, our new numerator of 3, and our denominator stayed the same. So that's how we go from a mixed number to an improper fraction and how we can check it. Let's go ahead and do one more mixed number to improper fraction. We have, let's see, 5 and 3/5. So we're going to start by multiplying our denominator by our whole number. 5 times 5 gives me 25. 25 plus 3 gives me 28. And our denominator stays the same, it just moves right on over. So our 5 and 3/5 becomes 28/5. And that is how we convert improper fractions to mixed numbers and vice versa. And that has been Math Corner with Miss Perry. I hope that I have been of some assistance, and I hope that you reach out if you do need more help. See you later.